Yeah, so, hi. We're back doing more speed duel stuff. Again, as boring as that is. By the way, watching P.O.G. P.O.G, yeah, that's what the channel's called. But anyways, some fun speculation for what's going to be in the speed duel box. If you didn't know, I made a video about the speed duel box. If you haven't heard about it, go check it out. Cool? Right, cool. Now, obviously here, you can go to their website and we'll be able to see, you know, at least the description for what the speed duel box is, right? Now, obviously, we've gone over this before. We're gonna have god cards. Certain other cards have already been announced, like Jinzo, Dark Paladin, XYZ Dragon Cannon. But I want to talk about the cards that aren't announced. What can we possibly get? I want to hear your opinions. What you would like to actually see, whether it be, actual cards related to the characters, or actually other cards you just like to see introduced into speed duels. Hey, man. Um, but yeah, so some of the characters here that we do have, we obviously know we're gonna get Yugi and Kaiba, obviously, right? We're gonna be seeing Esperoba, Odeon, Arcana, and as they say, more. There was an image that was leaked recently on Discord. I don't know if we ever got confirmation if it was real or not, but for the time being, we're going to take it as real. Okay. And it said 8 decks all ready to play with. We also have heard that of those 8 decks, there's also cards that are kind of just normal. Standard random cards that can be used in just about any deck. They're not staples, but staples, right? Discord. But that's probably a lot where the fun stuff comes from. Hey, man. That's probably a lot where the fun stuff comes from. But also at the same time, the character specific stuff is really nice too. But they said eight decks, right? Here's the thing: you say 8 decks, right? Obviously they're gonna go with the characters, right? So we've heard Yugi, Pegasus, not Pegasus, what the fuck? Yugi, Kaiba, Esperoba, Odeon, Arcana, and more. So there's 3 more, right? Because there's 3 more, we have to assume some of the characters here. One of the big assumptions here was obviously more Merrick stuff. Okay, I can see that. Another assumption was Taya, just for the fact that Matt asked a long time ago, if you were to have Taya skills, what would they do? What do you think they would do? So maybe Taya. That's one of the ones that we can guesstimate on. As for the last one, I've heard people throw around a lot of names. I've heard him throw around Joey. I've heard him throw around, Ishizu, and I've heard him throw around Maya before, but we'll see. So what are we talking about? We're talking about as they're calling it right now, the Speed Duel box. It's going to get released in November of this year for Speed Duels. And what cards could possibly be in there just by the characters and things like that, just on speculation. Yeah. And again, obviously, we know we're getting stuff like the Egyptian gods. We're getting things like Jinzo, Dark Paladin, and XYZ Dragon Cannon. What else? What can we get? Oh, you're new to Yu-Gi-Oh! Oh, well, that's great. Welcome. Welcome to Yu-Gi-Oh! I'm assuming you would play regular Yu-Gi-Oh! And not Speed Duels. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you started off with Speed Duels. Who knows? But anyway, that's the one I want to be in. Anyways, we talk about, certain characters and stuff like that, and having skills for those characters and certain tactics for those characters and stuff like that. But let's just start out with what we have here, right? Obviously, we have Yamayugi, right? We're going to have more Yamayugi support. What are we going to see from that? Man, Well, obviously, Dark Paladin. That's one, right? And from that, I would assume from the idea of 20 skill cards. 20 skill cards divided upon 8 characters, I would assume, right? Um, that doesn't fit. Maybe you give 2 skills per character, and that's 16. So what are the other 4? Maybe we'll see more of the releases of whatever they would call the ones from, was it Trials of the Kingdom? Had like the 2 girls and the 2 guys, and they're like side characters or whatever. Maybe we'll see stuff from that. I don't know. But regardless, for Yugi at least, if we expect to see 2 skills, obviously they're gonna have to do with Slifer and maybe the Dark Paladin stuff here. Who knows? Kaiba's obviously XYZ Dragon Cannon, and hopefully an Obelisk skill as well. When we get to the other characters, though, that's when it gets more fun. Right? We have the things like Esperoba. Oh, okay, obviously Jinzo. Jinzo's a big one, right? And it's already been announced. We're definitely getting Jinzo for Speed Duels. But for Esperoba, possibly Metal Reflect Bounder? Was that his name? Reflect Bounder? I forgot. I haven't seen that card in forever when it had a very niche meta time. Yeah, Reflect Bounder. That's what it's called. Yeah, Reflect Bounder. I think you could count that as a given. Possibly. How it affects speed duels. When this face-up attack position card is attacked by a monster on your opponent's side of the field, before damage calculation is resolved in the damage step, this card inflicts battle damage to your opponent's life points equal to the attack of the... It's so niche, though, you know? Sure, it's 1700 attack. Sure, it's machines. But your opponent can just get rid of it in so many ways, unless you're playing something like Spellproof Armor. But I do like the fact that it does the damage before you take damage, right? Yeah. Very interesting card. I expect to see it. If we don't, I'll be surprised and kind of sad, but I expect to see it. As for other cards regarding Esperoba, right? Best place to look is obviously in the Yu-Gi-Oh wiki. Because I don't remember what cards he uses. Maybe we see psychic cards, which I don't know how I feel about that. Because a lot of them do deal with synchro signing. We're not ready for that. Obviously, right? What else could we possibly see? I don't know. Esperoba feels like one of those weird characters that you have to give machines to. Oh, what's that one yellow looking Fiend Mega Cyber, I think is what it's called? I actually don't remember. It is Fiend Mega Cyber. The Fiend Mega Cyber, my bad. I kind of actually remember him using that. Or Joey used it. One of the two. It's so bad. It's so bad. Let's see. No, yeah, it was him. It was him. I'm not stupid. If you don't know what the Fiend Mega Cyber is, it's a level 6 Dark Warrior monster. And it says it has 2200 attack and 1200 defense. And it says if your opponent controls at least 2 more monsters than you do, you can special summon this card from your hand. Perhaps. I'd like to see this. I don't think it tips the game too far out of balance. This is actually a pretty balanced card for speed duels. I mean, given the fact that we do have easy summon 1900 attack monsters or easy summon 2k monsters with the boost if you include Blade Knight, 2200 is not that bad. Its ability, it's all right. It's not too overpowered. Yeah, its ability isn't too overpowered. I mean, yeah, it's kind of unfair at sometimes, but overall, right? Hear me out. We have Warrior Elimination, can get rid of this, right? This just kind of stops your opponent from going too far into putting too many monsters on board, right? Like maybe they have 2 or 3 Zomas, maybe they have 2 Zomas set, and you know, you'll punish them for being greedy, summoning both Zomas. I don't know. Is it new announcement packs or structured product? It is a structured product. It's that Speed Duel box, right? Um, it's a $30 box. It has like 8 decks for 8 characters, and then extra cards that are like staples. Um, and like I said, it has more Yugi Kaiba stuff, Esperova, Odeon. Yeah, it's only $30, and like the set's 100%. What do you call it? Guaranteed. Like every box has the same cards, right? Like it's a structured product, but it also has these little pack. Yeah, for the secrets, yeah. But the pack. What secrets do I want to see? Well, obviously, I would assume that they would go with based on the characters, right? So I'd expect to see the gods a secret. I'd expect to see Jinzo as a secret, even though it's getting a an ultra in August in Europe for that Trials of the Pharaoh little promotion. But I'd expect to see Jinzo, Dark Paladin, XYZ, Dragon Cannon, you know, and then possibly whatever else we have for Odeon, Ishtar, and Arcana. Yeah, like I said, we are getting the gods, but I'd like to see them as secrets as well, just for a little added, you know, niceness, right? Um, because if you're gonna print the gods, right, you can't just leave them in common. That masked beast, oh, that'd be nice. But yeah, that's another question. Well, I'm hoping that there is stuff that'll balance everything out overall. Because obviously Jinzo is such a big card to actually get, right? Jinzo is such a big card to get for the format. And like the other video that I made, you know, Jinzo just adds another little, you know, bit of ammunition into like stuff like Dark Moth. So I really hope we get something that actually, you know, contributes against more Dark Moth and just kind of puts it down on the list a little bit, or it's not as dominant as it is. I don't mind playing against it, but when it's as dominant as it is, it's not very healthy. It gets kind of boring. I mean, sure, you have multiple variants for Perfectly Ultimate Great Moth decks, but like it's still boring. It's really boring. Like if you know the procedure to win against it, and you're playing something that can win against it, i.e., more Dark Moth, more or less, um, then it's not a very fun duel. Yeah, and thankfully we'll never get Exodia in speed duels. According to Matt, at least, he doesn't want to have Exodia in speed duels, so thank goodness. But yeah, oh, as for, you know, like I said, there's only 5 characters that are announced that are they're gonna be in the box, right? But apparently there's supposed to be 8. Right, apparently there's supposed to be 8. And you know, obviously you can throw names around more like Merrick again, Joey. But I'm really hoping that Matt asking a while back, you know, what Taya skills would you like to see? Like what skills would you like to see Taya have? You know, what would you like her skills to do, right? And so it got me thinking, oh great, you know, what do we give Taya? And if we go off of just what do you call it? Duel Links. Couldn't think what the dang app was called. Go off of Duel Links, right? Obviously it's healing things, it's fairy type things. And so that got me thinking, hey, what fairy type cards can we get in speed duels? Because that's kind of a type that we really don't have much representation for. We have warriors, we have some spellcasters, and we're going to get more, especially with Yugi and Arcana being in the box, right? We have machines, we have insects, you know. But we really don't have fairies, even though that's kind of a big archetype. We have fiends, you know. But yeah. Oh, so speed duels. I'll answer this. So speed duels is very simple. You know, normal Yu-Gi-Oh, you play 8,000 life points. You know, 5 card fields, 5 card opening hands. You know, things like that. Main phase 2 and all that stuff. Only thing that's different in speed duels is the deck is 20 to 30 cards. You start with 4,000 life points. A 4-card hand. There's only 3 monster and 3 spell and trap zones. instead of the normal 5, and there's no main phase 2. That's the only real different thing. Oh, and skills. That's probably the biggest thing. There's these little blue cards called skills that really make the game, in my opinion, at least more fun. And they really change the way you can play the game. But yeah. But as for back to the fairy thing, right? I went to the database here, and oh man, future value of speed duels. So I think you can break that up into 2 different categories. You can break it up into collector's value and then, competitive value or gameplay value, right? For collector's value, I think obviously you're going to go for the tournament packs and stuff like that. Tournament pack stuff, I would keep. Yeah, I would keep the tournament pack stuff for at least till the beginning of next year, just because the more time that passes, we're obviously seeing those tournament pack 1 cards go up a lot, but we see that going up a lot, and so hopefully we'll see tournament pack 2 stuff start going up even more. I mean, obviously the whale's gone up, but hopefully we'll see everything start going up again. For competitive value, I don't know. I felt like we were going in the correct direction at first, but when I see things like this where it's all guaranteed, I thought, oh, that's bad. But then I read the 24 secret rares that are randomized in here. I think that's great. So I think you can have some really interesting stuff. Yes, fairies. Fairies. There's some interesting fairies, right? First ones that you come across here is a Yugioh, but that's not a Taya card. That's an Ishizu card. And if things were to, if I were to led to believe what I've seen, that it's possibly going to be called the Battle City box, I would say Ishizu would be more in there than Taya, right? Which is funny. But a Yugioh's on here. You don't know what that is. It's level 4. Fairy Earth monster. 1500 attack, 1300 defense. Says when this card is destroyed and sent to the graveyard as a result of battle. No agents of creation. No, stay away. Stay away. No agents of creation. Not yet. Please no. Please don't. I don't want turn 1 gods everywhere. Please no. I don't want it. You know how nice it is just to be like, oh yeah, I'll pay 500 for 2 shine balls, and here we go. That wouldn't be fun. Activate. What's the spell card that lets you tribute summon or normal summon again? But yeah. Fitting room. See, I don't mind fitting room doing it, right? Because it is a little bit more luck based. But I mean, you can stack your cards with card advance. But yeah, card advance is the card I'm talking about. Card advance lets you summon again, or lets you tribute summon, and in addition to your normal summon. And you get to stack the top 5 cards. Yeah, but I think it's interesting for sure. But a Yugioh, and then the next card here, which honestly I like to see in Speed Duels, is Air Knight Parshath. We do have Monster Reborn. We have Monster Reborn in the form of a skill for Merrick. Yeah, for Merrick. But it costs half your life points. So, but yeah, Air Knight Parshath would be a really cool card to see. Level 5, 1900, does piercing, and you get to draw cards when it does battle damage. I think that's fine. I don't see any problems with that at all. But when we start going down here, man, we get to some crazy stuff eventually. Once we get past all the crud here. Hold on. Jeez, a lot of this stuff is just new for fairy stuff, isn't it? I never realized all the artifacts are fairies, actually. That's kind of weird. Oh, here's something I thought about that doesn't really fit Taya, right? But it's interesting. Maybe we see some spirit monsters in Speed Duels. Maybe. Right? Hear me out. Stuff like Assure Priest, 1700 attack, level 4 monster, 1200 defense, can't be special summoned. And then during the end phase, it goes back to your hand, obviously. And this card can attack all monsters your opponent controls once each. I don't think that's too broken. Especially if it's 1700 attack. You know? Maybe we see some of these goat format spirit monsters. The ones that actually were used in speed duels. I don't think that'd be too broken. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. But, like, if you disagree, like, please call me out on that. But I don't think that's too bad. You know, it's alright. It's alright, I guess. I don't see anything too bad about that. What's the other one that people played? I can't remember its name. The one that flips stuff face down. I mean, it's interesting. And I think if we're going to be moving forward, right? If we're going to be moving forward with speed duels, right? Like we are. Because obviously we're getting stuff like Jinzo. We obviously are moving forward. I think we need to start moving forward with the non-archetypal stuff as well. Like, it's nice to have stuff that's great for archetypes. And rock monsters, that's another thing. Rock monsters. Rock monsters is another thing that'd be interesting. But I understand why people don't like the staple generic stuff, right? Because we've obviously seen that with Zoma and Nightmare Wheel now, and it's being thrown in just about every single deck, and it's goddamn annoying. But I think something that's less annoying, that's just a monster that comes back to the hand, is a lot better than just being like, you know, stuff that makes you stop playing. Generic stuff that actually progresses game states, right? None of this BS that's just like putting your opponent's turn on hold, right? I think stuff that actually moves the game state forward is fine, like I said. Especially since we have stuff like, what do you call it? Jinzo coming out, right? Having the... What the hell is that card called? Oh, the Tsukiyomi. Something like Tsukiyomi, right? Just to flip it face down so where I can activate my traps, where I can activate, you know, certain things, where I can remove it from the field if my opponent has anti- or spell-proof armor or whatever the hell it's called, right? But, again, that's just my opinion. But there's a lot of stuff we can't get yet. There's a lot of stuff we can't get yet. But for the most part, there's a lot of stuff we can get. I think this would be fun to get. Condemned Maiden. It's a 100 attack, 2000 defense, light level 4 monster. It says during your opponent's turn, you can activate one quick play spell from your hand. And you can only use one Condemned Maiden. The effect of Condemned Maiden once per duel. I don't know. See, like, I would like to... I'm waiting for the day that card actually is, like, good. Like, there's no way around it. I don't think... Unless we had, like, so much draw power, like, actual draw power that actually nets you a +1, right? Pot of Greed? No. But something that actually nets you a +1, right? Like, unless there's something that nets you a +1, I really don't think that you could ever play that card. Or that skill, right? Like, I just don't find... It's so counterproductive. Unless you're playing Dakoichis, Jinzos. Even then, it's so counterproductive. What's its name? Is that Reflect Bounder? Is that a dark? I don't know. I have no idea. No, it's a light. What the hell? Why is... Oh, it's a mirror. Okay, never mind. That makes sense. It's light. Oops. So you can't even play Reflect Bounder with... Because it's not a dark. What the hell is this? Okay, cool. Whatever. But that's what I'm saying. But you really need good Dark Machine monsters before... Like, you really have to play the... What is it called? The Desperado Barrel Dragon. We should never get that, but, like, that's how far you would have to go before it's actually gonna... It's just terrible. It's just so bad. Oh, look, it's R2. I haven't seen him in forever. I haven't done much snooping in Kiwi's Discord, so I haven't seen anything that anybody's been doing in there. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff that you would need to make the... actually, I have it right here. Hold on. Funny enough. Yeah, there it is. There's Heavy Metal Raiders. Hey, man. Yeah, you need a lot to make this card actually good. Like, a lot. It's just not... Oh, that's actually nice. Thank you. But you actually need a lot to make this good. Like, that one less card start is, like, so detrimental, man. Like, you literally have to have +1s before it can actually be good. Or have really, really good cards that you're able to play with a 3-card opening hand. Unless you're going second. You have a standard 4-card opening hand, right? Excuse me. But yeah, other than that, man, I'd like it to be good. I really would, but it's just not happening. I really hope they are. I'm sure they will be, and I would call them a success, right? I would call the box a success regardless of what happens, as long as the format changes, like literally changes. Is that my opinion on what? On the Speed Duel box or on Heavy Metal Raiders? Yes, on both. But other than that, man, there's just not a lot. Yes. Just yes. Yes. This is all just my opinion. Doitsu, Soitsu, and whatever the hell the other one is interesting. I don't think we should have it because it would just be a waste of space, but you know, you never know. You never know. My own Yu-Gi-Oh card? Damn. That'd be interesting. It'd be really interesting to design a card, you know what I mean? But I don't know what I would want it to do. I don't know, I play a lot of like stall and burn, so you know, probably something regarding that. Freya the Spirit. Freya the Spirit of Victory. While you control a fairy type monster other than this card, your opponent's monsters can attack. All fairy type monsters you control gain 400 attack defense. I can see us getting something like that in Speed Duels. Here's one that I actually wanted to talk about that I completely forgot about. Gel and Duo. If you don't know what Gel and Duo is, it's a level 4, 1700 attack, 0 defense monster fairy. It can't be destroyed by battle, and if you take any battle damage, destroy this face-up card. This card can be treated as 2 tributes for the tribute summon of a light fairy monster. I see no problems with this whatsoever, because we have monster removal. So this would be a fun card. It would stall you a turn. It's 1700 attack. That's balanced. Give us Gel and Duo. But this is just assuming that we get, you know, Taya. But whatever. Goddess of Whim, McDonald's pack card. Double the attack if you call heads or tails right, or if you call it wrong, have the attack. It's a 950 attack monster. It's not worth it, but it'd be cool. I still don't like the idea of giving us any type of fusion substitute monsters like Goddess of the Third Eye. I don't like it. Like I said again, if it was Taya, maybe giving us Guardian Angel Joan, giving that card a skill as well. I could see something like that happening, being fun. If you don't know what the card is, it's level 7, very light, 2800 attack, 2000 defense. It says when this card destroys a monster by battle and sent to the graveyard, gain life points equal to the original attack of that destroyed monster in the graveyard. Again, like I said on Duel Links, couldn't think of what it's called. I always forget the name of the app. For Duel Links, right? That was Taya's whole thing, was like gaining life points and stuff like that. So maybe seeing something like that would be really interesting. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff. There really is. There's a lot of fairy stuff. And even then there's other stuff that's not fairy based. It's not fairy based, and it revolves around gaining life points. So, you know, there's a whole lot of stuff. Trying to find stuff for Taya. Oh, here, look. Here's a card called Hysteric Fairy. It's a level 4 light fairy monster. 1800 attack, 500 defense. This is offer 2 monsters on your side of the field as tribute to increase your life points by 1,000 points. Again, that's something that would fall into the Taya stuff. But yeah. What is the best fairy monster? Like in regular Yu-Gi-Oh? My opinion is probably Herald of Perfection. Card's just so iconic in what it does and how easy it was to summon all the time. That's just my opinion, though. If you owned Konami, I wouldn't. No. Would you make your own cards that only you can have, or make the game impossible to win? Here's the thing, right? I probably wouldn't own Konami. Like, if you gave me the choice and you're like, here, you can own this company or not, right? Probably not. But when it comes to the question that you asked, I make it really hard to win, right? Like, that's something that's bugged me for a while in Yu-Gi-Oh! Like, how quick it goes. Like, not in the sense of how quick it goes and how long turns take, but how quickly the games are over, right? I like long games. I like longer games that actually take the time and stuff like that. So the ones that actually go into time, I enjoy those games more. However, not all of those games are equal. Meaning a lot of them are stall stuff, but yeah. Here's a cool card that we could get for fairies called Kelbeck, but it's another Shizu card. Level 4, I lost track of where it was. Level 4, Fairy Earth, 1500 attack, 1800 defense. Card says a monster that attacks this card returns to its owner's hand. Damage calculation is applied normally. I think that's fair. It's kind of like that Wall of Illusion that had 1850 defense. And whatever monster attacked it after damage that will return to the hand. It's basically the same thing, except this one's a fairy. I think it's cool. There's a bunch of stuff. As for other characters, right? Like, we can speculate that Taya's going to be on here, but as for other characters, right? Odeon. Does anybody actually remember what Odeon played besides the trap monster snake-looking thing and then the big scorpion? What else did he play? He played nothing else. That's it. That's all he played. I really don't remember anything else being played by... Oh, and Judgment of Anubis. Like, that's it. Those are the 3 cards I remember him playing, because it's the only cards I believe we actually got to see him play. Now, when it comes to outside manga / anime material, right? We can look at the games and stuff like that. And the only game that I played that has Odeon in it, funny enough, is Capsule Monster Coliseum. Right? That's the only one I can't... I can say that I played that actually has him in it. And as far as I remember, he played rock stuff. So we get rock stuff with Odeon, I won't be disappointed. Be nice to see rock stuff actually get introduced into speed duels that way too, with Odeon. However... knowing that it is trap-based, I wouldn't mind seeing a whole bunch of trap monsters. Which, I don't remember a whole bunch of them. I remember, like, those little tiki trap monsters. I just put Yu-Gi-Oh! Trap, I didn't put monsters at the end. But, yeah. Yeah. Where was I? I think Anti-Age is a strong level 4 monster. Oh, yeah, for trap monsters, right? I remember the little tikis, which were interesting. But, like, as for other stuff, I don't know what you can put in as trap monsters for Odeon. Because that's what I would assume that you would try to make his deck other than rock-based, right? I think you would do... Yikes, there's not a lot, is there? Oh, never mind, there's a lot. The thing just loaded on me. Zoma, we already have. Tiki Soul, that'd be interesting to have. And Tiki Curse, that'd be another interesting one. Statue of Anguish Pattern. What the heck is this? Statue of Anguish Pattern. Oh, no, can't have that. There's a lot of trap monsters, but they're worth going through. Space Reactor, Shape Scissors, Shadow Core, Quantum Cat. What is Quantum Cat? I believe that was a Battle Pack exclusive, if I remember correctly. Quantum Cat. Yeah, this was on a mat. What does this do? Activate this by declaring one monster type and one attribute. Special summon this card as a normal monster. Ooh, that's actually really good. Because if your opponent plays Heat Wave, you can still summon this because it's a normal monster. Level 4, attack 0, defense 2200 with that type and attribute. This card is also still a trap. Do you know a new show Yu-Gi-Oh is coming out soon? Yeah. It's already out. What is it called? Sevens, Yu-Gi-Oh! Sevens, yeah. Yeah, it's already out. It's alright. I tried watching it, I just couldn't get into it. Yeah, and they used a different type of dueling method. Yeah. I tried getting into it, but I just couldn't. I think I'm just too old now. Metamo Fortress, Moving Blockade, Metal Reflex Line. We already have that. God, my nose itches. Machine King 3000 BC. Didn't this card come in like the end of the 5Ds packs or something like that? Yeah. Some of this card is an effect monster. Machine type, Earth level 4000 attack, 1000 defense. This card is also still a trap card. You cannot normal summon a special other monster the turn you activate this card. Okay. So this is like another Zoma thing. You'd have to activate at the end of your opponent's turn. Once per turn during your main phase, you contribute one machine monster. This card gains attack equal to the attack of the tribute monster on the field until the end of turn. That's terrible. Please don't give us that. That's just bad. What does that say? Oh. Like, you asking me that question as in, you know, like actual playability, or is in like lore speak? Because in actual playability, they right now, I believe the Sacred Beasts are better, yeah, but as in lore, I don't know. Crystal Avatar, King Scarlet. What the heck is this? King Scarlet. There's so many monster traps I've never heard of. I've never even seen that. It looks like a Red Dragon Archfiend card. Oh, yes, it is. Great. Wakero, Guardian, First Modern. No. Embodiment Apophis, that's almost guaranteed. That we'll get with Odeon, the big snake-looking thing with, like, what is it, 1600 attack? Yeah, 1600 attack and 1800 defense. Funny thing I learned, ruling-wise, was with Jinzo coming out, I was wondering how that would affect trap monsters. And I didn't know that they just go back to the spell and trap zone as a useless card. And even if Jinzo leaves the field, it's still a useless card in the background. So my question became, right, because a lot of online tournaments are using the OCG updated ruling for trap monsters. So if you don't know, trap monsters in the TCG take up the monster and spell and trap zone, right? In the OCG, they've ruled that it moves away from the trap zone, spell and trap zone, and it no longer preoccupies that zone. So you actually have a zone freed up. So my question is, if you summon Embodiment of Apophis, right? Let's assume you summon Embodiment of Apophis and you set 3 back row afterwards, right? Then your opponent tribute summons a Jinzo. What happens to that Embodiment of Apophis? It obviously can't go back to the spell and trap zone where it belongs per ruling, right? So what happens to it? Now, obviously, this doesn't become a problem when you still continue using the TCG ruling where it takes up both, so you can't even put anything back there. Clears that up right away. But what happens? Because the thing can't happen, is it considered an illegal move? Therefore, your opponent wouldn't be able to summon Jinzo? I don't know. It's actually really interesting. Yeah, but I was reading that and I was like, oh, okay, cool, but you don't have that problem. I don't see that problem when you have the TCG ruling, right? I'll answer that question in a second, but you don't have that problem with the TCG ruling. But once you get the OCG ruling in there, especially in speed duels, that's weird. So I think August 1st we can start asking that question, and hopefully Matt will answer it. Because I think that needs to be answered pretty quickly. Especially with August coming in, what, 5 days? 6 days. 6 days. Less than a week. Next Saturday. right? I think that's an important thing to know. Or will it just go to the graveyard? But it wouldn't, because it's just being negated. So, what happens? But that is something I'd like to know, but just some stuff for you to ponder. You asked me what I think is the favorite, most powerful? What did you ask exactly? The best card. Best card in Yu-Gi-Oh! Hands down is Mystic Mind. As much as people hate it, look, your fame can be determined by either how much people love you or hate you, right? A lot of people hate this card. They hate Mystic Mind, so I would say Mystic Mind. Yeah, it's one of the best cards. I get why people hate it. But these are the same people that will play it if they had to, regardless. That's with any Yu-Gi-Oh player, right? They don't care. As long as, if it gets them the win, they'll play it, and then they'll complain about it later. But yeah, it doesn't matter. Because I don't care. Dimension Reflector, Shadow Crawler, Copy Knight. What is this? Copy Knight. This might actually be a good trap monster. We were, and then I started talking about Odeon and what cards he could actually get, because, again, in the anime/manga, I believe he only used four different cards, right? And that was the Embodiment of Apophis, the big mystical beast of Circuit, the... what is it called? The Temple of the Kings, or whatever the heck it's called, and Judgment of Anubis. Other than that, there's not a lot to work with, and you have a pretty open free range. But I had assumed that you would get trap monsters. Worst card in Yu-Gi-Oh? I don't know, man. Probably some vanilla, some old vanilla. Let's see. When a level 4 lower warrior type monster is normal summoned to your side of the field. Ooh, no. Special summon this card as a normal monster with the same level. No. God, no. That's terrible. Please don't give us that. I don't know. Some non-effect vanilla monster. I'm just saying any non-effect old vanilla monster that has, like, low attack. I mean, it really doesn't matter. Pick one of them. We have a guy at Locals who has a Karibo deck. It's actually really good. It's fun to watch people play against and go, what? No, how? How did I lose? But this Tiki Curse and Tiki Soul, I think, would be good additions for Odeon. Just my opinion. But other than that... Boop. But other than that... Arcana... I guess more Dark Magician support there. Merrick, I don't know what you could do more with Merrick that we haven't already done other than give him Raw and a Raw skill. I don't know. Joe Mama's right. Moki Moki is better than Karibo. I'll stand on that one. 100%. And Ojama better than Moki Moki. 1000%. But other than that, there's not really much here. Again, 24 secret rares. I can't wait to see what they actually put. Obviously I think the ones that they have highlighted here, the Gods, Jinzo, Dark Paladin, XYZ Dragon Cannon, but yeah. Only if it was my fault that I lost. If I lose to a beginner and it's because I made so many mistakes, then yeah, I'd be mad at myself. But like if I just lost, no, I wouldn't care. That just means that they're probably a good player. But yeah. Other than that, I guess we'll just have to wait for November 20th of this year. That'd be nice. It's a $30 set. Actually, you know what? For those of you, I don't know which of you actually do, but for those of you, if I can spell, that live in the United States. Okay. There's a website. I'll post it in the video after it gets uploaded. Called Game Nerds. It's localized here in Texas. They are doing pre-orders on the... Oh, yikes. They're doing pre-orders on the Speed Duel box already. And it's $22.47. Yeah, it November 20th. Sorry. It's November 20th. However, yeah. No, it's a card game. I'm not gonna get upset about a card game, but no, it's so normally pre-order is $29.99. But if you go to Game Nerds, like I said, I'll put the description here. Especially if you live in the United States, right? The pre-order right now is $22.47. $22.47. That's not bad. But it wouldn't be my life. Anyone who makes Yu-Gi-Oh their life is like actually their life, like 100%, like they'll kill themselves if they don't do well. Like, that's sad. All right, like I understand like people really caring and putting a lot of time and money into the game, right? Like that's fine. And you're upset that you lost, cool. Like I get it. You spend a lot of money, you spend a lot of time. But like if it's like everything to you, right? No. Now there's more worthy things to live for. But yeah, $22.47. Go and get it now. Get those pre-orders, boys and girls. If any girls are watching this, boys and girls, go and get your pre-order for $22.47. Pretty good. I don't know. But yeah, like I said, I'll put that link in the description afterwards. I'll put the link in the description afterwards, and you know, again, if you guys live in the States, you're interested in this Speed Duel box that comes out in November and you want to pre-order it because it's cheaper. Again, $22.47. You'll save $7.52. And if you order enough of them, I forgot what their limit is. I don't know if it's $60 or $70. I think it's $60. I could be wrong. No, it's got to be $70. Or is it 90? They have a limit, right? If you buy enough, you don't pay shipping. That's what I'm trying to get at here. And you'll earn points you'll earn points to get a percentage off on your next buy. So that's GameNerds.com. Plano, based out of Plano, Texas, I believe. So even if better, yeah, Plano, Texas. Yeah. If you live in Texas, it's even better because it's closer. And I ordered the little structure decks. I ordered a display case of them, and it came relatively quickly. I didn't come before the date that it was supposed to, but came at perfect time. And I got everything in a fast and orderly manner. So with that being said, this is my last little shout out again. Go to GameNerds.com and get this Speed Duel box and wait till November, like the rest of us. $22.47, unlike the regular $30. You're gonna save $7.52 on your order per box that you order. That being said, there's not much else that we can speculate about. If there's other cards that come into mind, I will make a video about it. And even better, if you have no interest in this box, right? Or maybe you have an interest in this box, and you just want, you know, multiples of cards, I'd say get 3 boxes. But if you want the secret rares, I'd say wait for someone on TCG Player to buy a whole bunch and just sell the packages. I've already pre-ordered my 3, just for the fact that, you know, I think it'd be a really good box. Mainly, again, for those secret rares that are in there, too. Those randomized variant secret rares. And then, like I said, if I find out there's certain cards that I really want that are secret rare, right, I'll just go into, like, TCG Player or whatever and buy packs, and people are selling the individual packs and stuff like that. But, yeah. Really, really good. Again, I'll put that link down in the description after we're done with the live stream and it uploads, right? So that way you guys can get into that too. Really, really great. Again, great service. So that being said, I don't think there's anything else that I can really discuss right now regarding Speed Duels, or at least that box, right? I'll probably do another live stream on the 1st with the new format when it comes out. Obviously getting Jinzo in there. But other than that, yeah. Other than that, there's not much else. Jinzo's coming, boys. Jinzo's coming. So with that being said, I'm going to... do I play Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links? No, I do not. I used to, and then I stopped. I still follow the streamers and stuff like that that do. But with that being said, I'm going to end the stream. That's going to be it for me. Keep an eye out for the next videos and stuff like that. Hit the bell notification. Nobody actually does that. With that being said, I'm going to get out of here. This is Kevin with P.O.G. Till next time, guys, I'm out.